Hey guys, coming at you with a Captain Sam video. We're going to look at just how useful is he in our current content. I'm going to show you beta 4.3 footage, Doom Raid normal footage, and some war gameplay. But first, let me show you my Captain Sam America. You're going to notice I have no T4s in him right now. I want to start with the ultimate, which is game changing for skill characters, then the special, again for skill characters, followed by the passive and the basic. You see I have him as a raider right now. I think he's going to be useful in a lot of different ones, but I just want that ult to put as many vulnerables out as possible. So let's see him in beta 4.3. I chose what I think is the most damaging node, and we don't have a healer here, so we'll see how he holds up without a healer. Obviously, when you have Mariah Hill, he's going to be a lot more sustainable. And I threw in Red Guardian there, so he's not going to get targeted for the first couple hits. But you see there, he does take that Daredevil splash damage from the ult pretty good. And Sabretooth as well, because he gets those deflects, he takes it pretty good. And this is a very small Sam. This is actually pre-gear tier 13. You're going to see behind me here, he's going to be 12 next time he takes a turn. And I think level 67. So I am going to work him up. I'm probably going to bring him all the way up to 80. Not for current content, but what I perceive as his future value. There you go. So 67, 56k in a beta 4.3. And without a healer. If he had, say, Night Nurse, he'd be a lot better off here. I'd probably be replacing, on this team, Nebula with Night Nurse. So, I mean, what did he contribute to this match? Not much, but the fact that he survived at such low power, I think, is pretty telling. And just what he does for the team with that speed, which he didn't give in this match. Used it on the previous node. And just the energy here, you see 2 energy to Gamora. That's really big. 1 energy to Red Guardian. That's also big, too. Gets that taunt up faster, which is also a huge heal for your skill allies. So does he have value in 4.3? Yeah, I think so. Now let's see the Doom Raid on normal. So this is the team I'm going to be using here. Moondragon with her long cooldowns probably isn't the character you want to run for all 3 nodes. If you were just subbing her in for that boss node, then I could see that having a lot of value. But here you go. We open up with the special. That was wasted. I think this is the first time I used him, and I just wanted to see what the energy distribution was like. Probably could have just opened up with ultimate there and had it back up for either the end of the second node or the boss node and get that speed going. Now again, as you saw, I don't have any T4s on him now, so I certainly didn't then. But that special, it would be huge in the Doom Raid, just because obviously all your characters are skill. Same with that special, the extra energy would just, it would go a long way here. So as you see, we're just tearing through this node. It is the first node, so nothing special here. There you go, he'll bleed out. No, we're going to kill him out anyway. So there you go. So jumping right into the second node. So what do we have? We have 6 enemies on the field. This would be a good time to use that ult. So make that 5. Oh, we used the ult at some point. I don't remember doing that. So we special for the energy. And let's see how well Captain Sam holds up here. He took that X23 special like a champ, even with the double tap. So he's got taunt on now, and he's just going to take a beating. He doesn't have that T4, so he's not getting the 2-turn taunt, unfortunately. That's another reason why the special is going to be really good for him. Look at all those deflects. So he's pretty safe even at his low power level, just because of how he stacks deflects up so quickly. So it looks like we're going to have that ultimate up for the boss node. That's going to be really good. That opening wave has a lot of characters, so that's a lot of speed for us to make use of. So that's node number 2. Again, nothing special, but let's look at him on the boss node and see how he holds up. So I like to nuke down the Doom and then worry about the Cyclops and Ebony Maw after the fact. There's offense down on a couple characters. We'll get 300 speed meter here, which is great because of 6 enemy characters, and we just keep beating up on the Doom. One thing I did miss from this is I normally bring in Fury, and the operatives really do peel off that defense up on the enemies pretty reliably. My Gamora gets pretty low. I don't think she entered this node with 100% life, so I'd be worried she wouldn't res. So we need to get her back up and healthy. Peel all those buffs off Ebony Maw with the Kestrel ult. And now Gamora's going to go off. She gets all her life back from her empowering, so she's good to go. Ebony goes down, and it's at this point I probably should have taken out Cyclops before he puts a bunch of slows on us. Should have used the Moondragon special on him. Oh, I did. I don't know how he lives to get his ultimate off then. I must stop focusing him. Okay, yeah, so I definitely just stopped focusing him, which is going to cause me problems. It's going to get a bunch of slows when he uses his ultimate on us here. So there you go. We get to use the Moondragon ult, put defense down on everybody. If I was smart here, I'd be basicing the Cyclops to get him out of the way. Looks like that's not going to be the case. I guess the Psylocke would have thrown his slow at us anyway, so kind of damned if we do, damned if we don't here. So there's a stun on Night Nurse, and then 2 turns slow from that Cyclops ult. Normally I don't have that happen because I'm going through this node a bit faster. Captain Sam did slow us down. That could have easily been remedied by taking Moondragon out and subbing in Nick Fury, who obviously would have some synergy with Kestrel and with Captain Sam, right? So we're eating a bunch of debuffs that we don't normally see. I'm going to chop that up to my Sam just being pretty small and not doing as much damage as he would normally do. Not having all the T4s that would make his team hit harder and do abilities more often as well. So it gets pretty dirty here. Sam and Night Nurse go down. But here's a funny story. The skill characters we have in the game right now are so good for the content we currently have to deal with that I might just make it through this node. So let's watch and see how that goes. So we're not looking too great. We have a lot of healthy enemies, and we're pretty low, and our Kestrel's stunned. But we're gonna get to do a heal here and rewind people. And there's a thumbs up from Remy Rex video that I commented on. Go ahead and show her some love, guys. She has a really good Doom guide video. Lots of great infographics. So we're all pretty low here. See if we can get through it. We basic, so we have more defense down targets. Moondragon hanging on just by the skin of her teeth. She's going to live to ult. I don't have Moondragon ult T4'd yet, so the heal is kind of a baby heal, unfortunately. But here we go. Gamora showing what she does, doing huge damage. We decide we want to take out as many characters as possible so that we're not taking as many hits. We should finish off this Namor here. Or ult the Mr. Fantastic. That works too. So Namor gets pinged out. Mr. Fantastic eats Gamora basic to the face, and he's gone too now. Namor should bleed out. Nope, close. But obviously we're going to be fine, so we pull it off. And I think that kind of shows a little underlying message here, guys, that the skill characters you might possibly have built already for the Doom raid are more than enough. So for raid reasons, I don't think you need Captain Sam. But let's look at what value he can bring to war offense. Now this is a pretty stacked team. I got both Falcons, Red Guardian, and Kestrel with Doom against an enemy team that's pretty stacked too. We got Phoenix, Doom, and some Marauders, Emma, and Sinister. So let's quickly look at the speed difference between the two Falcons. So right there, that's 200 speed bar. That's okay. Let's look what OG Falcon gives us. 650. So an extra 450 in the Battle of the Falcons. I'm going to say OG Falcon has more use, at least in this team composition of trying to boost your Doom to ult faster. I think Kestra was overkill here, but just for this war right now, we're on an off war, and I have 10 teams. Kestrel being on one of the hybrid teams, and this was obviously a different hybrid team. Normally I'd have Black Widow in her spot there, and Punisher in Captain Sam's, but I think Captain Sam can stay there. He doesn't give the most speed meter, but the little bit that he does give will be useful, I'm sure. So there you go, a little bit of a punch up. Obviously this was a very big hybrid invested team on their part. They had Doom, they had Uncanny, and they had Marauders all in one. We burned through it, but obviously we're using some meta teams too. But if you don't have your Skeleton built and you haven't seen it in my videos, I strongly suggest using Falcon, Red Guardian, and Doom together. They really do crush opposing Doom teams. So what are my final thoughts, guys? Current raids, if you don't have Red Guardian built, he's good. You can go ahead and invest in him for that reason. For current challenges like the Origin traits, meh, he's a little too slow to get it going. I'd rather the Red Guardian initial taunt. And for the current war, also, meh, the speed he gives isn't nearly as good as the speed OG Falcon gives. However, they are talking about increasing the defensive rooms and increasing the offensive attacks. So in the future, having him built up to team with Kestrel, Fury, and the rest of Secret Avengers could be a pretty good offensive option and give Kestrel a place, a home, whereas right now you're probably using her in some kind of monstrous hybrid team. And yet, guys, I do think he's the future of skill-related content. So whatever you invest in him now won't be wasted. You just may not see the benefit until the future. But if you're like me, I'd rather have him built at least to a usable level now, as opposed to have to start off from scratch later. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe for more. I'd like to do videos at least once every 2 or 3 days. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.